All right, hey guys. This evening, we're briefly going to cover how to repot a particular houseplant called a monstera deliciosa. Most likely, you've seen these around people's homes or in box stores. They have the signature leaf that is large. It has these nodes that are in it. There's several different varieties of them, and all kinds of different mixtures of color and such as that. But the reason we're going to repot this particular one is she's in a pot that's just a little too large and holds too much moisture. One of the things that's very confusing when you purchase a plant from some nurseries and a lot of times from some of these big box stores is you automatically assume, understandably so, that the soil that it comes in is the ideal soil for that plant. That's not always the case. And the reason that is because a lot of the wholesalers that sell to these box stores understand that they're probably not going to get proper watering. And just assuming they're going to be underwatered, they give them a type of soil mixture that does cling to a good bit of water. However, if they're overwatered, and I know you've all seen it before at these stores, that they're sitting in puddles, which is the worst thing you can do for most plants, especially house plants. They'll get root rot, and a lot of times if the root rot is too far gone, so is your plant, unfortunately. So with that being said, the first thing that we're going to do, and I'm going to show you why it's in the wrong area. So you see how large this pot is, right? And you would automatically assume that this is a great soil mix. And it is, but it's not a great soil mix for this monstera. Monsteras are considered an epiphyte. And what that means is it's a plant that kind of grows as a vine in tropical areas with these aerial nodes that turn into roots. And they basically attach themselves to trees or other types of things. And they just grow up towards the sun in this canopy, under this canopy. So they're not used to having that much moisture. You know, the trees a lot of times can hinder some of the moisture that comes down onto these plants. And they're used to mostly like bark and different types of more shallow mediums that help their root system not get so bogged down. So this girl, and before I started the video, I cut this one off, but I should have waited. So I cut her off because she's one of the less than ideal leaves that were on there. And I went ahead and cut her off. That way we can make her a little bit more healthy before we repot her. So, wow, it easily pulls up. And you'll see why this pot's way too large. Okay, this is a big pot. Now we're going to downsize the pot, but it's not a huge difference in size, but it is some. But what's going to make the biggest difference of all, you can kind of see, it is a little bit smaller. But what's going to make the biggest difference of all is the mix that we're using. So this mix is like a chunky mix. It actually has different pieces of bark, horticulture charcoal, some large pieces of cocoa core husk, not the actual ground up cocoa core. And it just is really airy, really chunky. But that's going to hold just enough moisture in order for the plant not to drown. And so we're just going to sit, first of all, make sure it doesn't have any rotten roots. You can kind of gently tug on them, or if you see anything that's super black looking, you want to probably cut those off. That way it doesn't continue to root rot. Also with this particular pot, what I done when it came in, it didn't have any holes in the bottom. So I got my diamond drill bit, like we've talked about in the past, and I only drilled 3 holes in there, but that will allow some drainage so that it won't hold too much moisture. So now we're going to grab her, and we're just going to kind of fill it about, I guess, 1/3 of the way. Sit her down in there, like so, and fill her up with some more of this chunky mix. Now, with her being an epiphyte that, like I said, grows on a vine and has aerial roots and attaches to things, right now I don't have anything to attach to. So I'm temporarily going to probably put some form of stick or dowel rod against her just to kind of hold her straight until she gets much more of a grip on the soil in the root system. But eventually it'll end up with a moss pole. So what a moss pole does is it kind of acts like a fake tree. You stick it in there, it's got the moss that can become, you can dampen it or moisten it, and the aerial roots that it has will grow into that moss, which makes it very sound, and it's rigid and it won't try to topple over, as opposed to what it's going to try to do now since it's not sturdy in the pot. Holes are very important. Another thing that I've done over the holes, you don't have to do, but if you have this inside and you don't want it spilling out some soil onto your floor occasionally, is I put these little inserts in there. You could use weed cloth and poke little extra holes in the weed cloth to put over the holes just so it doesn't make a big mess. And I did mix in a little bit of complete fertilizer. It's a 5-5-5 mix, just because it is spring and they're fixing to start putting on some extra growth. Now, anytime that you repot anything or you plant something in the ground, it's important to make sure that you water it in. So after the video is off, because my hose is way over there, I'm going to water her in, let everything drain out, and then she'll probably be good for several days or a week. And we'll just check again when the soil feels like it doesn't have a whole lot of moisture in it, and then it'll be time to water again. So if you guys have any questions, all houseplants are different. Epiphytes are one of the ones that you like to have a chunky mix with. So philodendrons, scindapsus, and some other plants like that. Just make sure if you get a plant that you Google is in an epiphyte, and you'll know that it needs a chunky mix. So I will talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, obviously, always message me. Bye.